Boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, day traders, cloud swing traders. Hope you guys are doing absolutely fantastic. Man, we only got like 2 more days left of this month. What happened to June? June just flew by, but we got you guys hanging out for the entire month. The crazy journey that was June. And again, we got PCE numbers tomorrow. So tomorrow could get a little bit crazy prior to the market. I do think we're kind of just waiting on those. And could we have a little bit of sell-off? I think this is like the best month for bulls since like, I don't know, 2021 or some crazy number. So statistically, it's pretty crazy of a month. But we got Alex Naus, good morning. To Amy, Andy, Brian. We got Brian Reppel, good morning. Eric Frall, good morning. We got Greg K. Gerlene's in the house. Gerlene, did you see Roku today? I think it's a nice little gap up. I was looking at the daily chart. We'll go through that too in a little bit. But good morning. We got Jay. We got Jean Sebastian. Good morning, Justin. We got Lauren, Michael, Richard, Jet, Rick, GJ in the house. Ron, good morning to Win, Wally. Where's all my peeps on YouTube land? All my peeps. We got David Cooks. Good morning. Jeff, Abra, good morning. It's not good morning for... It's good afternoon. Greetings from Poland. What is happening? Rado, good morning to you as well. Let's take a look at this market. Let's see what is going on in this crazy, crazy world of stocks. SPY with a little bit of a small gap up. It was a little bit bigger prior. So it has pulled back, which I think is actually pretty decent for us because we are looking to make some plays. Big orders open. Let me see. I missed something in the chat. Hold on. Win said he lost internet for 6 hours yesterday. Dang. He had big orders. How'd you lose internet? I know we got the Canadian wildfires coming back a little bit. I heard there's some air warnings. I don't know if anybody's getting hit with that, but Smacky the Frog in Canada is not really doing his job. He's kind of slacking. Someone hit something with a car somewhere, probably like a pole or something. Yeah, that's crazy. That is crazy. Have a backup cell phone handy or something just in case, because you just don't know. But we got the SPY. So SPY is, again, kind of just holding the highs, gapping up a little tiny bit. Like I said, it was gapping a little bit more this morning, but it would have been a retest anyway. So what's the big deal? Retest now at open. Maybe we could start to pop out a little bit. We do have a couple levels that we have to watch out for on the SPY in the bullish case, and then we'll go through the bearish case as well. But obviously the first one is, which I think... and this is where I want to see it open higher than, and we'll see if it happens or not. But we have yesterday's VPOC sitting at 436.32 roughly. Most notably about yesterday's VPOC, or actually, no, hold on, that was what? Yesterday was more of an inside day. We broke out, we came back. This is yesterday, right? Yep, Wednesday. So we have yesterday's VPOC. So that's going to be the support. Maybe we come down for a retest there, 435.64 in a bearish case, and then we look to pop. We'll see. But Tuesday was that 436.29. So we did get up there. It looks like we closed slightly above it. I think we get continuation. Next spot, at least the first immediate spot on the SPY I'm looking for is 437.34, but we hit that already. So that was already retested. Even if this entire move is just some kind of big retest before the big drop, we still got some levels ahead of us. So the next one, that I mean, that would be one, but again, we hit that already. If we start to approach the bullish sentiment, I think 437.84 would be my first target, and then we're probably back to this 438.91 zone. If we could get there today, it's, I think, possible, but I do still want to lean bullish. I just think we're going to get better odds, although some things that I was going through pre-market, it is retesting. It is retest gaps. So on a few things, we might have to be a little more patient. We will see. The Qs, very similar to the SPY odds opening so far in a good location. If this could hold, we are actually, I like this VPOC a little bit better than the SPY. So we did make a new higher VPOC. That trend continues. We now have 3 in a row. Next spot on VPOX, and I'm not really seeing anything really in the way in terms of real resistance, but the next spot, 366.60 on the Qs, is what we're going to have to watch. Again, that was already a retested spot, and that puts us to probably about 370.15. So we could see some additional pushes into the market. If you guys have any stock stickers you want to take a look at, by all means, throw those into the chat. I was looking at Trip. I don't know if Trip has a short float or not, or at least a decent one. Finviz. I don't think they do, but let me just double check. But if we could get a short float on that. Yeah, you got 10% skis. So what I was looking at pre-market is just we have that little high wave. We're above all those moving averages. We're above all the VPOCs. And then what I like even more than all of that is the next target really isn't until $17.31. So we got some room on the breakout, and if we can get through that, we have probably 1766 and then 1815. But there's a good kind of, we hit the high, we retested, we're now opening above all VPOCs, so we look kind of good in that one, and it's on my watch list. Maybe we play it, maybe we don't, not sure. Is $400 your normal R for a day trade? It's not mine. Richard J. You're probably referring to the journal, Richard. Is that correct? In the official trade journal, we have, because every trader has a different. The R should be based off your account, but because everybody has different accounts, everyone's trading different R's. So just to keep the R's consistent, so they actually mean something, we just have to choose a consistent number. That's all. Yep. So the journal, it's set for if you want to translate it to dollars, but again, the dollars are meaningless. It's more about the R's, right? But just so we could get conversions and the actual Excel spreadsheet makes sense, we in the official journal, everything is set for $400 R. Correct. Lauren wants to look at, Ron says air in Florida is okay. Beautiful. Chuck, what's happening? And let's take a look at Paychex, PAYX. The level I'd be concerned with is 114.53, so watch out for that. That is a longer term volume area, could get a little resistance there. Otherwise, it is a gap and go, pretty decent. You have a few levels above you, which would be 113.56 and 113.95. I don't know about the, man, what is those things? Like chicken nuggets or something? PY, let me see if there's any short float on this thing. Not really a huge short float. So Trip has a bigger short float on it. And Paychex is, it's decent. It is a good gap and go. I'd be concerned about targets. That'd be my only interesting move on that. Yeah, I do have pins on my list too. So pins, right now it's gapping down a little bit. Again, pre-market it was gapping up, so things are starting to pull back a little bit, which again, look for the zone of $28.01. So 28.01, we'll call it $28 even, but somewhere around there is yesterday's VPOC. That's a spot that should hold. If it can't hold, we're probably going to see a much bigger pullback. That pullback could come into probably the low of that candle, but 27.34. So you do want to hold this thing really above $28 to try to continue that bullish, or even if you see some kind of trap and then candle close above $28, that will look decent too. But yeah, we're getting up there on a lot of things. Yesterday was technically a retest gap. Not really so much of a retest whatsoever. But again, that gap where we gapped up was already into this kind of higher volume area, seemed to hold pretty well. I was a little concerned to play this one tomorrow, yesterday, just because it's one of those stocks. I don't know how far it could run, but if we're looking at the longer term volume areas, we've already put all of that liquidity on our backs. We got no liquidity coming up, and Pins has the ability to Hit 32.43, but more than likely we get to about 36. And these are all smaller volume areas, but I could see pins with some kind of a breakout. By the dip on pins could make sense. There is that gap in there that's not filled. It looks a little almost not quite. It's not a picture perfect island reversal, but it looks a little bit like it. So we'll see. How did I find Trip? I just scrolled through my list of stocks. That was about it. Richard's hungry. I know that's chicken. I don't know what they were, but I think they were chicken. You got earnings on Paychex. Did that come out already? AMD did the same thing. It was a bearish gap and go, and it ran $5. AMD looks decent today too, or did at least. Let's see if it still does. But remember yesterday, it didn't look that great. We were opening down here actually pre-market when we were about this time yesterday, so exactly 24 hours ago. We were like, I don't know. If we were to short something, it'd probably be AMD. And then as the market opened, I was like, yeah, but if I was bullish AMD, you have a clear stop to just either lose your money and be like, I was wrong, or this is the shot to take a stab at something in a field with NVIDIA that is also probably going to get some decent play into the AI world and just hasn't run as much after closing a gap. That would probably be decent risk reward. So that's carrying. It is a retest today. So I think be patient on AMD. See if we get some kind of pullback, a pullback and some kind of candle that hits 110.17. If we get hit that spot or we start dancing around that zone, I'm with it. I like it. We could try it again, see if we get some kind of a breakout, but we will need a little pullback on that one. Went to the we'll call it the poop out of it. And got killed. We were wrong. Yeah. It was everything looked like it was probably very weak at open, except for the fact that if you are bullish, having such a defined, clear like risk reward in your trade, you're like, I don't think AMD's a bad company. I think it's going to be a higher price than where it's at now in the near future. It's closing the gaps. Technically speaking, everything looks decent. Yep. So Morgan Stanley, watch any of the banks. So I think they did their bank stress test yesterday. I mean, I don't know if you guys could believe it or not. I'm not even shocked. But every single bank sound resilient. They all passed with flying colors. I think it was like 32 banks they stress test. Nothing to see here, nothing to worry. But Morgan Stanley is gapping up on that. Schwab is also gapping up on that too. I didn't check Ally, or JP Morgan yet, but I did see Schwab. This looks decent on Morgan Stanley. We do have some room to run with a caveat. So if we could get a little pullback just because we're into those moving averages, we've got a lot of moving averages that we'd have to get through. So if we could get some kind of candle to just retest, take a little profit, fantastic. Otherwise, we do have decent amount of room to run all the way up to 86.52, gives us about $1.20 on the play if we take it right at open. But I mean, I don't know if I believe them, but they're supposed to have been good. You really think that they were going to go in there and be like, yeah, no, we have another bank going under. We're now worried about something else. I don't know. I don't know. They could get some creative accounting going on. Schwab is another one, but Schwab is a bigger retest. So again, maybe that could help. I like most likely Morgan Stanley over Schwab at least at the open, because Schwab should be a retest. Everything says retest here. You do have some levels of VPOX, although we are slightly above them. But let's see if we get a little pullback. Anything financial would be great. And then maybe we might not have to wait for Johnny. We could probably do it ahead of time, but there could be a spot for us to play some kind of a breakout, even if it's just that one candle at open that we like. Let's look for that and see if we could run that up. Lemonade, I had on my list because it did look interesting. This would be another high short float company, but we had a little high wave yesterday. We were gapping a slightly higher about 20 minutes ago. So I think this one's pulling back a little bit, but again, retesting high wave indecision. I think the sentiment is kind of shifting to bullish. We got more VPOCs down below us to the high side, which this has been retested 1753. I think that can get the break, but then we have to watch for that next spot, which that would be probably 1764, something like that. Ron wants to take a look at Nike, NKE. Yeah, that one looks decent. I got two levels of concern, which we could average them together and just say somewhere around 114.08. To the high side, probably about 114.15, but we broke out 3 days of bullishness inside resting candle. Looks like we're creating some kind of a gap and go. I'm gonna have to move this one higher on the list. I'd be worried about 14.15. That still takes us to about 50 cents before we have to hit the panic button or caution button at least. 14.50 would be 114.50 would be the next one, and if that could break, that's where we make the money. That's 116.81. So how good is this gap going to be? They had earnings, or they have earnings. They probably have earnings after the bell today. Most likely, then we'll probably get the run up into earnings, which could be a chop all day. Micron beat on rises on beat outlook right. So Micron might be decent too, actually. So Nike could be a little bit of a chop potentially at open. I think with a bullish sentiment to it. Probably toward the end of the day, you can see that run up and start to break out with earnings anticipation. Micron, nice little gap. Forecast was decent. They did have a beat. This is a retest. Let's see if we could get. I'm going to get MU higher on the list, just because they did report earnings. We could see some volatility. I think they've already kind of broken, and bullish is the way I want to trade it. But if we can get some kind of a pullback at open, that I think would be fantastic. Lou says, can I look at SoFi? That is a retest gap, correct? Yep. It's also inside gap. So it's inside day. Although there is a caveat on this one too. So we got some selling at some point. We've already risen up to these levels yesterday. And then we kind of sold into it. It's that almost a little pennant pattern. That does look bullish. I think this is a buy the dip. So I still like this thing bullish. Let's see if we get down a little bit more at open. This would be a decent one to look for. SoFi also would be, it's also kind of a meme-ish stock, but it does have that high short flow too. So we could see some wild things on SoFi as well. But yeah, technically that would be, although anybody that did short in that wick is trapped. So I could challenge it a little bit, but yeah, let's see if we get a little bit of a pullback on it or some kind of red candle on SoFi. Looks decent. Let me see YouTube land. You guys want to check Overstock? Yeah, Overstock. What's going on with Overstock? They nice little gap up. I think it was $2-3 on the Overstock. So yeah, $2.25 at this point. It's gonna have a little bit of resistance here. This one should be a retest gap. So again, down in this zone, if you already got it, great. But also, if you got it down in this zone, you're probably going to want to take some kind of profit, something off the table. Expect some kind of retest. The next real level on this thing, if this thing does go higher, you're going to get some kind of standstill, maybe around 29.82. And then any of the bears in this one have to save this thing at 31.83. I personally do own some Overstock. I actually like Overstock, but we'll see where this one actually goes to. Because if that one breaks, then you got $43. So we will see. And the next bigger level is probably about 50. So it's got some room. It's got some room. It's gaining some traction. I think there is some interest, at least from the gorillas. The apes trying to GameStop it. I don't know if we're at that level. I don't know if we'll be at a GameStop level anytime soon with any stock ever again. Although history does repeat itself. But yeah, Overstock, I do like it bullish. See if there's some kind of a pullback at open first, though. It is a retest gap. GNRC. Not really anything stopping GRNC to about 173. So plenty of room on this thing. Generac Holdings. Generac. Do you want to cure a disease you didn't know you had? Get some Generac. What does it do? It's just Generac. Yeah, I don't know what this company does, but it doesn't have much to stop it. Small little gap up. It is a retest. I'm going to add this one to the list, actually. GNRC. They do generators. That's less exciting. GNRC. All right. I'm going to add this one. I'm going to push this one a little bit up higher. Hiya. Mainly because of the room on it. I like the room. It's 2 days. I mean, we have 4 bullish days in a row. 2 days ago was kind of the breakout candle closing above. This one probably gets some pullbacks before it really wants to move. And I think today at open, you do get a pullback. I'm not sure if this thing wants to break today or not, but we could try it. It's got the room in it. Very interesting play. Not sure if you covered it, but can we look at Walmart, the store that sells walls? We did not cover it yet, but we could take a look. Yeah, this one's kind of gapping down a little bit, so it's actually a little bit of a gap and go. I wouldn't get too excited in the bearish direction yet. We do have flag pennant pattern kind of building on this thing, and it's got some support below us. So we got this. We got this. Also, wave count wise, this is 1, 2, 3, 4. I think this pullback, and then we probably do this, I would assume, as opposed to just crushing down lower. You have a lot of just nonstop green days in a row. And I think we're in some kind of a rest period. So it is a gap and go. Be careful on the shorts. You probably have one other level somewhere around 154, 55. I would actually be looking to buy the dips on it as opposed to shorting. But maybe not the first one to short today because it is technically a gap and go. We're trapping some bulls on this thing. But I do think we probably break bullish out of that. Let me see what else I'm missing. Oracle for the short. Yeah. I guess so. Maybe. That's one to look short on. If you're going to go short anything, I don't think you're in bad company attempting it. I would treat it as a retest gap, even though, I mean, it is technically a retest gap. Treat this thing as a retest gap because you do have 1, 2, 3 insignificant highway, 4, 5, about 5, 6 days of selling. We did have a little bit of a rest period, but anybody in this thing short, they might want to take some profits. I do like this one as a short, though. So we're below that last VPOC. That's 116.41, kind of the level you want to hold. Probably that's going to be your retest to short. So the closer you get to 116.41, the better risk reward you have. You're probably throwing a stop at 118.73. Not really another VPOC on this thing until this gap fill about 109.70. So yeah, I could see that. I can see a good short there. If so, yeah, that's gonna be on my list for the short side of things. Let me see if I'm missing anything else. Jeff says I watched Air last night. Does that mean anything? I watched it 2 weeks ago, so it means that you're a little slow on catching up with Amazon shows. But otherwise, I did think it was a good movie. And Nike is probably gapping because you watched it. Yeah, most likely it is gapping because you watched Air. I would assume. Disney with a downgrade. Downgrade. Uh yeah. Disney. Again, we have a double bottom. We're at the level it should hold. I'm not adding it to long term yet. I'm still waiting. I'll either miss owning the mouse and I'm okay with it, or I could get it at my pricing, which is starting at around $85. So I'm not too far off on a valuation play. But Win says I have some adding some at 85. Jay wants to take a look at Frey. Yeah, I got no Disney yet. What's going on with Frey? Freyer battery. They made a deal with Generac. It's electric. Boogie woogie woogie. This is a FREY. Short flow about 10%. So you got a good short flow play here. Already kind of decently gapping up into a high resistance area. This little dotted line and that moving average coming in would give me a little reason to pause somewhere around 875. Watch that zone. But man, it's a beautiful looking gap for sure. And you got the high short float, lots of liquidity in here. If this thing starts to break 917, you are probably in the zone to catch a very, very nice short squeeze on that. But we are into a little resistance now. Decent short float on this thing. Lots of people getting trapped. Good amount of time for people to get trapped in there too. We'll see if that one runs up. But DJ, usual PVOC Vec is from SVP, or the red ones are from SVP. Mm-hmm. Yep, these are from the standard SVP. I do have some changes that I have in there that I actually got from Tracy Ball. The blue is, this one's not. This is Lux Algo. But I only got 15 seconds left until that morning ding 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 bell. So make sure you guys on YouTube land do hit that little like button. It makes me feel good about myself. And man, I like to feel good about myself. But make sure you guys hit that button and hit subscribe, check out Real Life Trading. We do have a lot us all day long. We do this till like 6 p.m. at night. We don't sleep either, so it's a lot of craziness. But make sure you guys head on to Real Life Trading, check it out, and otherwise we will see you guys tomorrow. Take it easy, be safe out there in the markets. PCE tomorrow, it's gonna get fun. All right, let me shift this over. Let me get this one up here. That should keep it easy for me. Still in the one screen mode. All right, let's see what's happening in the market. Let me get some of those ones that we're looking at. Let's get a GNRC up here. I did find it interesting. We're just kind of giving the market today a minute to do its thing, settle out, pick a direction. MU with the pullback, that's decent. The one guy from YouTube land said he watched Air, so we'll have to keep Nike up here as well. Pins not moving at all. Is it halted? Carnival had a crazy move. No, I see the bid ask moving, so I don't think it's halted. Is it? That'd be wild, but Maybe both. No, I just saw the bid ask is moving. So if it was halted, it was probably delayed open more than anything. It took a little extra. It hit the snooze button. But I do see it moving back and forth. So although the price isn't moving, the bid ask is still live. So it's still good. MU pulling back. We got SPY, GNRC. Again, just not doing it yet. We are expecting a lot of retest. Nike has a high wave. Nike. 113.72. We're going retail today. Let's do 113.25. All right. NKE 113.72. Buy 113.25. I'm typing that in the chat. I am not placing that order yet because I got one screen and I got a couple things I got to do to make sure that I can get this in. So if you guys want to take it without me, that's fine. I'll let you. Otherwise, I'll let you know when I am hitting the submit button to the broker. So just FYI. On. 113.2. Already outside that range, you guys are telling me. Yep. I'm going to change that to 113.81. I do need this candle to close as well. Broker. So this would be the new setup again. Just give me 1 second. I have not entered that yet. I just want to see where the candle closes. Make sure we don't get wicked or nothing cray happens. Or just go green and we miss it. That's fine too. Let's see what happens. GRNC doing the thing. Something not right. Volume is crawling. Yeah, for the type of gap it was, that's definitely moving slower. I kind of like this GRNC. I don't know, GNRC. I don't know why. Maybe because it wants to give me some money today. 149.36. Personal day trade. GNRC 149.36 by. Let me take this a little lower. 147.77. Again, give me a second on this one. I'm not entering it yet. Did it one close? No. Let me see what this one would be. GRNC 149.36. 47.77. 7.77. All right. I'm gonna hit submit on Nike. I'll try that one. And I'm also going to set up GRNC. I think GNRC. Generac. Oh, good. The broker kicked me out. That's cool. So far I missed the Generac. The only one I have out there is Nike. Not sure if I'm filled. Not quite sure. I am filled on Nike, so that's fun. Let's do GNRC. I'm gonna throw it in as a limit. This is 157. $140. Oh, I could do a stop limit still. Okay. Actually, nope. Man, this thing's just jumping around on me. 36 limits. 36. All right, I got this one set up as a limit buy. Copy, paste. You're an MU. Yeah, I was gonna look at MU today too. Let me get my stops in place on Nike. Let's look for targets. We got 1325 as the stop. Is anybody like overstock long term? Yes or no? I like it. Yes and no. I like it. Yes and no. And Generac doesn't look like he's gonna take me in. Dang it. I'll leave the order out there for a little bit. I don't think I got filled. No, I don't think so. Company wise, they're a little bit all over the place. So it's not like a home run. Me, I personally like the CEO. That's why I like it. I think he's just a wild bag of fun. Oh, I forgot I was going to look at targets. Hold on. Let's check out targets for Nike. Uh, 2 hours on Nike is 115.49. Is that a doable day? 115.49. Yeah, overstock is not going to be your home run play, but it could be. Like it's got potential for it. 115.49. We're gonna go for 2 hours on Nike. Maybe hit it, maybe we don't. Maybe we just control stops. Either way, I'll be good with it. So let's throw that out there for that. 115.49 is target. And let's see, do we cancel Generac? I think I kind of have to. Let's see. All right, I'm gonna cancel Generac. Could come back and fill us, but it is what it is. I'll throw that in Slack. Cancel GNRC. All right, and then let's throw Nike to the 3-minute. Let's get our chart into Slack as well. What was the setup? 113.25. This was a stop. Entry we had was do 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 113.81. We're going bullish. And target. On 15.49. Targets. All right, let's see if we can hold that one for a little bit. All right, cool. Because you want to Florida. You like MS right now? Let me see. MS. MS. That was a nice opening candle on it. Big spread on GNRC. Yeah, that one left the stable. That one's not coming back for me. Oh, man. Good thing though, Nike will come back. Nike is no problem. Just retesting like crazy. We got Tessie. Tessie was a nice little gap up today too. I'm always surprised. Nobody, like, usually every day somebody's like, what about Tesla? Tesla, what about Tesla today? And then 5 minutes later, like, what about Tesla now? And now I get nothing on Tesla. Nobody likes Tesla anymore. Pins is very quiet on pins. That is very weird. Very strange on that one. Nike just kind of hanging out. Tesla still 2020, I guess. Yeah, but so what's the new stock? Like, there's always that one stock. Everyone's like, oh, what is it gonna do today? You're like, oh, probably nothing. Probably just it'll open at probably 9:30 a.m. and then close around like 4. And some people, like, during the day, they're gonna buy some, and some other people might sell it. Yeah, Nvidia. No, only me, you, Rock. I think look at it, DraftKings. So no to that. That's not like, it's got to be a mass population stock where everyone's just like, this is the one. But there's Elon. He's gonna box Mark Zuckerberg. You know, what? What happened? All right, everything. Not everything, but most things are pulling back a little bit. Which I'm looking at is Nvidia. Tesla's pulling back a little bit. Tesla actually has a couple wicks up there too. Tesla, but that could also be the 618 as well. So that could be 618, and we could still get a bounce there. Pin's not looking so great yet. I mean, we are expecting some retests. Nike, unfortunately, is still pulling back too. So we'll have to see what that one wants to do. The only benefit, I think, is that Nike is actually retail. We still do have earnings coming out today too, so that's going to be, that could get a little crazy. GNRC pulled back a little tad. Which one was this one? This is MS or DraftKings? This is DraftKings. DraftKings hanging out. And again, this is probably not a bad candle on Tesla to try to go bullish if you like it bullish. Tesla, it's electric. Let me see Tesla real quick if I can get some targets. Daily charts. Still kind of hanging out inside of yesterday's range. It is technically a retest gap, so we could get some kind of back still to about 256. We did just hit already the one VPOC standing in the way, so the next real target is 262.58. Now that could be a decent, interesting looking play. Do I like Tesla? It doesn't like me. It just ran. Nice candle on the DraftKings. Hopefully that helps Nike again. SPY had one little pullback. It's just chilling. If we get a new break high of the day on Nike, that should get us our stops a little bit higher. Hiya. We'll be risking probably about maybe half R, something like that on the trade if we can get it a little higher, which would be cool. Pins got a hammer coming in on the pin interest. And now you got a high wave. High wave on the Tessie. There is room to the downside, but there's also room to the upside. Nvidia is just kind of hanging out. I would actually say no. I would say Nvidia still, even with the run it's had, it's not the same interest from general population than Tesla. Like, it was obnoxious moves from Nvidia, but still you're not getting like, what's it doing today? I don't know. I think you have to have that Elon factor. And then like Elon comes out because crypto's the new hot thing, and he starts pumping the Dogecoin. That drives more interest back to what's Tesla doing today? Oh, they've got robots. You're like, what? Why? How do I buy one? Do they sell them at the store that sells walls? How do I get a robot? I thought I saw a price tag on the robots for like $250,000 or some craziness. I don't know. I forget what it was. But Tesla's still just kind of hanging out. Nike maybe double top, but maybe not. We will see what the SPY wants to do. If we get a little more pump on the SPY, that'd be fantastic. Pins has a little high wave, red candle, all below VWAP and the 10 EMA. So I'll just chill on that one for now. What about Palantir? Palantir was nowhere close to the same level, but Palantir was getting some decent. I wish Zoom could take like surveys of like the most used words. I wonder what it would be. AMD would have to be up there too, but not for the hype train, but just for, I know a lot of people trade it. Could be a cute little double bottom on Palantir. That would be interesting. Nike starting to get its pump. That's fantastic for us. We'll see if we can get another. Oh, do we need $1.30, something like that on that? So that's got to be a big lightsaber candle. We'll see if they want to achieve that mission. Video still just chilling. Okie doke. Let me flip my other screen back to Nike since we're actually doing something now. We're gonna have one little spot, probably around 114.58. That causes us some trouble. Actually, a little bit before that too. Right where we're at. No, we're right where we just broke out of. So that's essentially one off the table. The next spot takes us to about 114.53. And I'm looking for that break. If we could get that break today, maybe with some earnings hype, great news. Otherwise, we could probably work our stops up. Let me see the originals. 113.25. Let's get these up a little bit more. I don't think we should break that candle now. Let's get it to 113.40. I'll split the difference. 113.41. Let's go to that. New NKE stop. 113.241. So 113.41 is the new stop. Anybody in Nike with me? I think there was somebody that said they were, but I forget. Wes is in with me. Mike is in. Gerlene's in. Oh, Gerlene, yeah. I was gonna say we're gonna look at Roku. I forgot about that. Let's take a look. What was I looking at before with um Rock says, yeah, but I wear Pumas. Is Pumas publicly traded? I don't think so. ROKU. Yeah, I was looking at this morning. I was like, dang, this stock. It still has some legs. I mean, not only does Roku miss me on every day trade that I probably try to attempt, I'm like, how perfect is this 618 retracement? I already had this thing up here. Gave me a high wave at that 618. We could have, I don't know why I just didn't put an order in at like 63.42 with a stop of like 60.42. $3 stop. You need $69. So somewhere up there is 2 R's. There's not one single VPOC in the way. There's actually one single one. So that would take us to 68.43. Next one is right into that 2 R target. There's ones about, I'm like, oh, gross. You're a Vans guy? Do you still have to customize your Vans? Wasn't like that was Vans big. And hold on, isn't Vans? I thought Nike bought Vans, to be honest. I thought Nike owns Vans now. You sure about that? And then I think like it wasn't like Vans' big like appeal. Like you go on their website and you create your own custom Vans design. Really? Nike missed an opportunity. I mean, I wouldn't wear Vans. This is just not my style. I don't get the appeal, but I've also never customized my own shoe. Let me take a look real quick. Vans.com. I mean, that girl looks super happy in her Vans. Yeah. If you're a skateboarder, uh-huh. And then there's the songs like got my veins on, got my veins on. Off the wall, shop new arrivals. That guy, he don't even, these people don't even look happy to wear Vans. They look confused why why someone's taking a photo of them. They did not even agree to be in the ad, I don't think. Like, do you want to look sad like us? Buy some Vans. $125. But yeah, and then I think they're big in like the skateboarding and that community. Actually, you know what? Those shoes don't like these ones don't look bad. Those ones, I don't think I'd wear those. I don't know. She's skateboarding. That's what she's doing. Yeah, then like those. I don't think I could wear anything that looks like that. To be honest, for me, I don't know what I would wear it with. I don't know how to accessorize. Uh, uh, but yeah, no, I don't see a spot where you could customize. I thought for a while, maybe I'm thinking like Converse or something. Maybe it was. Oh yeah, no, customs. Yeah, you could do custom design. That was Vans. I knew it. They look good for leg day because they're flat. Okay, I guess so. Uh, so leg day is by far the worst day at the gym. No wonder those people were sad wearing the Vans. They're like, I only got these Vans on because it's leg day. Nobody likes leg day. Pins straight dropping. Tessie's not really holding up. We can find something short too. I'm actually really not a fan right now of this Nike, to be honest, too. But the spy is still hanging out. I mean, we're not doing anything. I just this is a little bit of a tweezer top on the Nike. I'm gonna throw my stop up on this one aggressively. 113.84. 113.84 new stop. Change 113. 0.84. This way, if it comes down, stops us out, I think we still make some money. Yep, we'll make 3 cents either way. But market is just kind of flat, hanging out. Again, if we could get another little bump on Nike, great. If not, we have a little bit of 3-bar reversal with something. The only thing that this thing is really missing on this reversal, which I mean, I don't want to see it because I've been listening to not reverse it. But that would be a higher volume candle somewhere like that middle candle. And so the volume's not there on that reversal. Either way, I got my stops up. We'll take some small gains if possible. Look for something else. And if it wants to start bopping up higher, great news. The market itself is not really dying. We actually put some kind of, it looks like a pretty strong resistance on the SPY. If that breaks, I mean, that should lift the tide a little bit. Michael says, I split quads and hams into separate days. Good stuff. I gotta get some good leg day routines down. But now I gotta buy some Vans because apparently I've been doing it wrong. Chuck says, I think I'll take my profit. My 1-day profit on Overstock. Let me see what that one did. OSTK. What was the other one? I think somebody here mentioned it. It was like, it wasn't Generac, but it was something else. Fryer. What was that ticker? Oh, Frey. Yeah, FREY. Just hit your 1 hour target. Yeah, nice bounce. Hey, you got that. I was just worried about the targets on that thing, but yeah, that looks good. It did have that short squeeze ability with it. And Generac, so far, a good cancel on that one. That one just kind of died down. 100 on the weekly. Got it. We can't lose on Nike, which definitely gives us the ability to look for something else. And I think a lot of this is a retest gap. That's why I'm not so excited to go short. I think we have to get some of these fades in here for some a little bit later in the day setups. Check the cues out. Cues have done nothing too. So we're living in the world of that high wave right now. We're living in that high waves reality. You got Baidu down $7.53. Yeah, some of the Asian companies are taking a little bit more of a hit, I think. Sea Limited 4 cents. Tesla still rocking 76 cents. MU down 5%. Interesting. MU, yeah, just kind of straight waterfall down. Let me check out AMD. Got good consolidation in it at least. AMD retest gap. Kind of did retest into some of those VPOCs. That's not bad. We're gonna have 112.97, essentially 113. So a little bit of a stumble zone. But that looks, it could be decent on AMD. Still $1.50. Let's see. This is 1, 2, 3. This is all 4. I don't know if I buy it. SPY is finally starting to break. I think they let us live on Nike. Tesla's getting a nice little pop. Pending home sales down 2.7%. Existing home sales supply still slides. So we got some home sales data. So new home sales down a little bit. That's good for the market. Technically just good for Jerome Powell. But he did say based on he was more of the jobs labor market. But home sales would definitely start to weigh into some of those numbers too. But yeah. And again, we'll see if there's a little trap in the SPY. So we did get above that strong resistance that we've been fighting all day. I want to see this 5-minute candle close because it is breaking on home sale data. Nike. Go higher. Maybe a little 10 EMA on Nvidia if anybody's interested. Kind of like the AMD one better still. Let's see if we can get a 1.2 on AMD. This is 111. I'll go 111.64. 111.64. And I'm gonna take 110.90 as okay. Let's try that. My personal day trade AMD 111.64 by 110.90. If I get this out there in time. AMD. Limit. All right, I got AMD locked into the broker, so orders out. If anybody wants to attempt it with me, essentially 10 EMA. I'll go for the 1.2 on this one. So I think 1.2. I think we get to 113 potentially. 1.2, and you have to get to 112.52. For 2 hours, we have to get to 113.12. Both are possible. It's not out of the realm. But we'll see if we can make some money there. And then again, if you want NVIDIA, it's not set up yet. Also, AMD is not technically set up as a 10 EMA yet either. Both have the potential to do so. That's a cute little hammer forming on NVIDIA. The only thing with NVIDIA that's different than AMD is you do have to contend with the VWAP. Where AMD, we're already above the VWAP. So that's why I'm just choosing AMD over NVIDIA, but dealer's choice, both look decent. Providing that the setup comes in. We got MU, chillaxing, Teslas running into VWAP. Can you get an Elliott wave count on MU? Not really. It hasn't really made any waves. I think this is a 3, and slightly from yesterday's numbers. So I think this is our 1. This was probably our 2. I think this entire move is our 3. So the first bounce, probably don't trust it as much. We'll be quick with it. That's 4. Then I'd have to look for some kind of double bottom, 1 new lower low, trap candle, and then move. So if I'm using it from here, yes, I got probably wave 3. If we're starting with it just with today, no, there's not really, we haven't really done anything yet. So if we get this bounce here, I think that's a 4. Look for one more rotation down, and I think it's just all continuation from yesterday. Did I get triggered on AMD? Let's see. I am in. All right, trade 2 of the day. And I think I just got taken out on Nike, so. Okay. AMD, where's my stop on this one? 110.90. All right, so I think we made like 3 pennies on that one. AMD still far going to trap us. Tesla's coming down. I probably got stopped already on AMD. That was probably a quick one. Instant trap on that one. No good there. Was there more news that just came out? Entire market just threw a nasty candle in. Supreme Court outlaws consideration of race as a factor of college admissions. Is the 10-year? I feel like something just came out of the market. Everything just dropped. So that was a quick in and out. No good there. I honestly, I think anything, unless you were just had some kind of short on the table, you probably just got clapped on that one. No good there. At least we were able to escape Nike with, I mean, even though it's 3 pennies, still something. There's I just saw something like Supreme Court rulings on that race can't be considered for college admissions, but that's not that one. I don't think that would cause that candle. Every Elliott wave just went to poop. Not necessarily. I mean, the market's still actually holding, but this is a very big bearish engulfing candle on the SPY if it closes. Since 1969. Yeah. When we get triggered into AMD, now it counts though. That's news now. Tesla coming down, so we could look for a reversal, but again, I still kind of want to be a little bit more patient before getting the next one. All these things are still a little bit of a just still retesting. Maybe double bottom on pins. I don't know if I trust it yet. I still got some more room to retest. Did Overstock get that candle? OSTK. Are you still in this one, Chuck, or you got out? That one actually broke positive. So counter the market, I guess. Palantir, PLTR. That one's just hanging out, down 9 cents. DraftKings. Wow, DraftKings looks good, Rock. That's the one. And then again, Nvidia is still pulling back. Market isn't really doing much though. I do think I think we can see a considerable move tomorrow in the market at open. The new Tesla. Just with the PCE numbers, I think that's going to have even more of an effect than the housing numbers today. And then any of the unemployment numbers, those are going to wildly affect from at least Jerome Powell's last West meeting, but those aren't. I don't think those come out tomorrow. We got PNW's down $1.32. Broadcom is up 268. Riot's up 41 cents today. Good gap in Mar too. Let's see. Did they just give us a shake and bake on AMD? They might have. Still looks a little weaker. Now you got a 10 EMA bear set up. I'm not touching that one. Yeah, crypto's having a decent day. Which is actually surprising if the report comes out that all the banks are sound and resilient and they all pass the stress test. Keep in mind, crypto was up because banks started to fail. And then again, the story came out that crypto is the way to go because nobody can trust banks. So I was actually a little surprised to see crypto up a little. Where do we go for some Kashisha? Brian Fantastic. Looks like we gave all our money to Newsom on AMD to set up a bear 10 EMA. I do like Newsom. And at least 70% of the traders that took to trade with him, at least 70%. Yeah, he went short on AMD. Let's see where he would have taken it. He might have taken. Did they come in at this one over here? 111.12. The first bear hammer. Below this? Because that was your reversal right there. But again, that was a strong breakout above VWAP, and you got the 10 EMA flipped on that. So it is what it is. And then right after that, we got the major SPY sell-off too. So I think we were actually probably decent until whatever triggered that big red candle in the market came in. And you didn't have that big candle. Yeah. Oh, I mean, Overstock didn't either. Some things didn't. MU, yeah, it's kind of hanging out still. So at least finding some support. This would be it. Let's put MU over here, actually. If I could see like a noticeable trap candle or something like that in there, this one might be decent. This is down a decent amount. Nike trying to rally back again. Maybe Nvidia is setting up for 3-bar reversal potentially. Oh, he did. He did Tesla. Or did he do AMD? Oh, he did Tesla. Okay. Well, then there's no excuse. Then that's. Well, I definitely don't like anyone going short AMD. Then. Now I'm just not happy. At least if I gave it to the Newsom and the gang, yeah, I'd be okay. Again, this could be a little bit of a 3-bar reversal on Nvidia. SPY rebounding, tweezer bottoms on the SPY, almost tweezer. I think we're off by like a penny or two. Tesla got the Morningstar. Market is not rallying yet. And that was a pretty decent drop off. I'm wondering if somebody that was going long still in this thing wants to take small loss and sell. I almost need one more like rotation, red candle, something, but Nvidia looks decent. AMD looks decent. Tesla's just okay. I don't know if I trust Tesla to reverse yet. AMD getting its first little rejection off the 10 EMA. MU has got a red candle right by the 10 EMA. Still got that VWAP coming down on it. Nike's just doing the dance, so nothing crazy there. BYND. You got 1 hour on AMD short. Nice. All right. If I'm giving Ernesto some money, I'm happy to. So it looks like maybe use them at Tesla and AMD set up. This market's not moving. It's gonna be frustrating. Let's run through the list. Even at open, there was not like a huge amount of like, man, this is the one type day. Let's run through the list on the daily real quick. We'll see what we can find. See right here on AMD, this is still holding where that retest should come in. We just hit that lower end VPOC. It doesn't mean that we have to bounce, but if we are going to, this would be the location. And that's why as soon as that green candle came in, I was like, we're in the zone. We're like right there. I think they just shook us out for no reason. MU, yeah, the daily's got a pretty bearish engulfing candle. We still got the 10. If that's a 10, that looks like 63.20, somewhere in that zone. We were able to break that first initial VPOC. I don't know. Yeah, one more wave in MU, and I think we have a shot. Again, Nike with a little bounce, just kind of dancing around. I thought we'd get a little more on that one. Tesla's being a trickster today. Yeah, everything's kind of being a little tricky. Well, just kind of pretty much a high wave candle. SoFi, yeah, it should be a little retest candle. Opened up inside. TripAdvisor, which I was hoping for a better open, that did not open where it was supposed to. CrowdStrike, not CrowdStrike is another one. It is technically a retest gap inside candle. We got 2 moving averages right above it. This again is AMD. We got those moving averages right above us, but it is a retest gap. Lemonade just hanging out. I could see some continuation on Mongo database as well. Pins pulling back, retesting. Netflix. Again, this is kind of the spot you'd want to see this retest on Netflix. AMD. What a monster. I'm watching AMD on the other screen. On the other chart. Roblox, nothing. Carnival Cruise essentially hit target. Meta. Look at Delta. I don't think Delta's had a red candle in 3 weeks. I mean, that's nothing short of amazing. Yeah, Delta's a beast. Coinbase, kind of beastly as well. It's got nothing on Delta, but still crazy. Boeing was another one I was going to watch today. I just missed it. Overstock, nice bear hammer sitting on POC on Netflix. Let's take a look. There's a reversal. You got the VWAP right in front of you. What's a retest gap? And so far, at least on AMD, the reversal, 3-bar reversals there. We just had to be a little more patient. We could have taken this setup. Entry here, stop there. I don't know if it works out, but we got that one little wick in and the market reversed. The SPY itself could be double topish here. Again, we're just pretty much range bound for the most part. It's not bad.